Last time I did this, I was sitting in a pool in San Diego. It was better. Now I'm out here, counting Amazon vans. Can I just say, as well, we've had, in years gone by, a rate laugh doing transfer review because we had Ed Woodward, right? And even though Ed Woodward was terrible at his job, he was amazing for this video because there would be like, do you guys see that? Neymar moved clubs and went to Saudi Arabia this summer. I'd rather, do you know what? I'm going to move to Saudi Arabia and do transfer review there because can you imagine? I can't give anything a 0 out of 10. Neymar's going to come play for this team that's got 30 supporters watching it week in, week out. There's no fucking way that's going to happen, Steve. They just signed him and they're paying him $1 billion. Like, it sounds made up, doesn't it? It sounds like the sort of rumour 7-year-olds would make up at school. Yeah, Neymar is going to sign for Al Hilal, mate. Yeah, and they're going to pay him £1 billion. And they did. I am disgusted with the professionalism of this window. You have ruined my very, very fun show by being laser focused with your targets and just getting them done. That's not what this show's about. I want to hear that United have cryogenically frozen Eric Cantona's jizz and we're regrowing a new player to play in the Eric Cantona role for Manchester United and we're having to pay £90 million for it. Because that's what we'd have done with Woodward was here. I want to see that we tried to get Messi when he went to Inter Miami. I want to see that. I want to see all the stupid shit. I want to see Mo Salah as the latest one to be linked with Saudi. Where's the links with Mo Salah and United so I can take the piss out of them? John Murtagh, you're no fun. Now, I'm not going to say bring back Woodward, but can we get a wild rumour now and then? Even 90 minutes and goal and all those fucking liars have got their shit together. There's no wild rumours, man. None. This is too straight for me. Can't be like, here's who Manchester United are signing with this very well thought out fucking transfer. No! I want to go, we're doing what now? And then tell you it's a load of old rhubarb. That's what I like to do. And this summer, I've had none of that. The most funny I had was sitting in a pool fully dressed. You fuckers. Sort it out. January, I want to see some nonsense, okay? United in shock move for Harry Kane on loan for the end of the season because he only scored 41 goals in Germany in 3 months. Do you know what I mean? That sort of shit. That's what we're here for, aren't we? That's what the people want. Right, shut the fuck up and count the Amazon vans. Right, number 1, Ryan Gravenberch. What's going on there? I'll tell you what's going on there. United and Liverpool called again this week. Called again this week. Hello? Is he in? What's he up to? Okay, call you next week. What does that mean? Has to be informed about the Ryan Gravenberch situation. Now, there was rumours back in January, I believe, that United were going to look to try and get him in on loan. I can't see us signing him because money, but I would... United have played the loan card really well in the last year. If there's loans to be had, I'd like to see United get a loan in. And Ryan Gravenberch, for me, adds that one up. Bayern Munich gets to go and see him go to a good club with a manager that knows that can trust him. If it works, they get a player that's worth more. If it doesn't, they'll just sell him. So I think it's a situation that benefits everybody, in all honesty. United and Liverpool are keen of any last-minute changes. Liverpool clearly need to sign someone because they thought it was all fun and games, didn't they? Sell a couple of players to Saudi. Here's a good one. What do you mean? No, don't take Mo Salah. No, not Mo Salah. If they've lost a lot of experience, and that can be a problem for them. I think getting someone like a Gravenberch, he's a good player. I see where he fits in with Liverpool. Makes a lot of sense. I also see where he fits in for United again. Makes a lot of sense. I think this could go down to the wire. And Liverpool are going to be smarting after the way they've been absolutely shafted with Chelsea and both Lavia and Caicedo. They were so confident of getting Caicedo. They threw in a record bid and was like, hey, let's have a little bit of that. And then They didn't get a little bit of that, did they? Hang on, who's ringing me now when I'm supposed to be doing transfer review? Hello. So Liverpool have been smarting, right? Because they had the pants pulled down. They were so confident. They even had Klopp talking about him in a press conference, talking about how much money it was, this, that, and the other. And then Caicedo was like, "What? No, I don't think so." So Liverpool have got cash, which means they'll spend that cash this summer. Who's that here now? How about shut up? So is he going to United? Is he going to Liverpool? I think he probably goes somewhere, because when you see a couple of teams vying for him, that means there's probably one of them going to end up getting him. I'm going to say 3 out of 10 to United at the moment. I think it's pretty much 50-50 he leaves, and then I guess I actually think it's 50-50, maybe a touch in United's favour because of the prior relationship with Erik ten Hag. Next up, Amrabat. Now, before we went to America, it felt like Amrabat was one that we were going to get done right at the last moment of the season. And part of the reason that I thought that it would be late in the window is that I thought we'd have to move on some players and we'd have to sell some players. And we've not really moved on any players. Now, supposedly Liverpool are in the mix for Amrabat as well. Cheers, lads. And Amrabat's apparently growing frustrated that the move isn't happening, which I think makes complete sense, in all honesty. We apparently do have a deal in place for him, and personal terms are agreed. I think United are checking the cash machine at midnight, mate. I mean, that's what we're doing. I think we're just waiting for the money to clear, mate, and then, yeah, we'll be on to you. I mean, that's what's happening. I think United are just skint. Either that, or we're actually playing FFP the way it's meant to be played, and maybe we'll talk about Chelsea, maybe we won't. But I got the impression that Todd Boehly is, how can I put this legally? I get the impression that he's just doing whatever the fuck he wants and will deal with the consequences of FFP if they ever arrive. Because I'm going to be honest with you, FFP has been the sort of most pathetic, weak, loosely enforced bullshit that has ever happened to football. Innit? The reasons why it was there haven't really been the reasons why it's there. Like, what it was meant to do is to protect clubs from spending more than they have. What it's actually been is prevented clubs with money from spending the money that their owner gives them, which is not necessarily a bad thing because it is financial doping to a certain degree. It was meant to stop clubs like United going into absolutely crazy debt, and then going tits up, and clubs like things like what happened to Leeds. But it's not really been used in that kind of sense, because clubs will spend whatever they can and just go bankrupt and deal with the consequences. FFP's become almost a way to slow down the likes of Paris and the likes of Manchester City and the likes of Chelsea. It's not really been what it was intended or advertised as. Do you know what I mean? Like, Chelsea have never made a profit. They've just been propped up by their owner for the last 20 years. Like, they lose money every year. How they're allowed to spend fucking anything, I don't know. Such is life. Anyway, Amrabat. What's going on with Amrabat? Well, United are dicking around. I think we're dicking around because we ain't got the money. I think we probably need to shift someone on. And the person that we want to shift on is Harry Maguire. And Harry Maguire is doing the old Jordan Peterson thing of, I'm not fucking leaving. So I don't know where that leaves us. I think Amrabat's a very, very easy deal for United to complete, should we find some money down the back of the sofa. Amrabat to United, 8 out of 10, if we can find the money. Next up, Pavard. And again, this is one that makes a lot of sense because he is quite cheap. According to Romano, he is prepared to leave Bayern. Inter have him at the top of their list. Proposal expected soon to open talks from them. United have been stalling due to the Maguire situation. Basically, Harry Maguire, sitting there on his arse, is preventing United possibly getting both Amrabat and Pavard. Two players who tangibly improve Manchester United's starting 11, which Harry Maguire does not do. I think Pavard's a great signing for United, and the addition of Onana, the evolution into this 3-2 that we're trying to build out in, Pavard coming into that mix makes so much sense. That I don't know if I'm going to give this a high score because I want it to happen or I think it will happen. And like I said at the start of the video, United have been so clear with their targets. I think we rattled Harry Kane's cage early in the window and were told this is how much it's going to cost from Tottenham. It went, all right, go fuck yourself then. Right? And moved on. In previous windows, Manchester United would have dragged that out right past the window, even after he signed for Bayern Munich. We'd still be like, we think we can get him, actually. He's literally wearing their shirt. Never say never. Like, do you know what I mean? I think United would have fucked about that much. And we don't do that anymore. And on one hand, it's great. On the other hand, makes this show a bit fucking redundant, doesn't it? You bastards. So Pavard to United. I think 6 out of 10. Because I think Amrabat's a little bit more needed. More likely. And I think if you get Maguire gone, which I think is the issue, you might get both of those in. And then, from the top turnbuckle, is a fucking wild one. Yes! Romelu Lukaku. What fucking year is it? We did this already. And I think, to quote the Bryan Adams song, it was the summer of 2017, wasn't it? What's going on? So, who the fuck has suggested Lukaku? None other than international swordsman himself, Dwight Yorke. What's Dwight Yorke saying? And by the way, Dwight Yorke's a Premier League footballer that does not get anywhere near the credit he deserves. 20 goals, I believe 29 assists in the treble season. Transformative footballer. Absolutely checked the fuck out after we won the treble. It was like, yep, football's complete. Let's get on a smash. And on one level, I fucking love that. Because what do you want? All your footballers to fucking drink bottled water and have ready salted crisp and a fucking salad? Shut the fuck up. Give me a Dwight Yorke any day of the week. But anyway, what's Dwight Yorke saying? So he's saying United can solve their goal-scoring problems with a shot move for Romelu Lukaku. I think United or Tottenham should take him on a short-term loan and agree a certain amount of his wages. As much as people say about Lukaku, he has a very impressive goal-scoring record and doesn't get as much credit as he deserves. Right, let's go through everything that he's just said here. Getting him on loan. Okay, not against that, not against that. You've not got to shell out big money. Between United and Chelsea, in like, 2 years, between United and Chelsea, we spent £170 million on him. I'm not sure how much he went to Inter for. He's like 60. There's a guy that's had like $250 million spent on him amongst like 3 clubs. Especially when you include like, Everton didn't pay nothing for him. I think that was like 30 million. And Dwight Yorke is not wrong. He has a very impressive goal-scoring record. I think in 500 and whatever games, he's got like 200 and nearly a goal a game sort of ratio, which is pretty good for a striker across the length of an entire career. I believe he's 30 years of age now. Lukaku isn't the sort of striker that Højlund is. But he is something different. And I always like the idea of having a forward that's something different. If Højlund has started a game, 70 minutes in, it hasn't worked, and you can throw on a Lukaku as well or instead of, you've changed it up. You've done something different. And I think sometimes in football matches can go stale if you haven't got like a bit of an X factor to throw on that's going to do something different. Now, people look at Lukaku and they go, ooh, like a Drogba kind of big old boy sort of thing. And you go, no. Realistically, he's more like a fucking Chicharito or even a Michael Owen than he is a Drogba. He is a fox in a box. He's just a big one. And he's got brilliant predatory goal-scoring instincts. He's got a pretty good fucking finish. And his record at United was not bad. His first season was very, very good, in fact. The second season, after he put a reek load of timber on, got stuck right into the Belgian waffles. Whoever the fuck it was told him that he needed to bulk up for the World Cup. I think they meant with deadlifts, mate, not with donuts. Because he did look out of shape. And I think being out of shape in a Jose Mourinho team isn't really going to fucking fly. But he did go to Italy. He sorted his shit out. He had a great old time in Italy. And then the mistake was coming back to Chelsea. Because Chelsea's a fucking shit show of a club. And as you've seen, Chelsea are willing and able to spend utter, untold riches on players and then just fucking cast them aside. I think Dwight Yorke's onto something. Now, I don't think it's going to happen. I'm going to give it a solid fucking 0 out of 10. But I think Dwight Yorke's onto something, and it isn't the worst shout I've ever heard. Lukaku on loan, not the worst shout I've ever heard. I don't think it's happening, but I'm not against it. I'm not against it because he offers you something. You know he's Premier League proven. At 30 years of age, he's not going to come with the sort of expectation that he's going to play. I am not against this at all. I like Lukaku when United signed him. It didn't work out. for whatever reason. I like Lukaku, and I like the idea of getting him in on loan as well. Now, I don't know how many Amazon vans have gone behind me, but loads of them little fucking wheelie bike bastards. There's about 10 of them gone behind the camera. Did they pedal that all day long? Mate. Absolutely jacked and tanned. Right, that was the ins. This is the oots. Eric Bailly, I thought he went already. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't think he was still here. I did not know he was still here. But apparently he is. So, Eric Bailly, here's what's going on. He's reached an agreement to leave on a free transfer. We've said, just fuck off if you want. All right, cool. So, he could remain in the Premier League with Fulham supposedly being interested. Let's talk about Eric Bailly for a minute. Capable of putting in an absolute 10 out of 10 performance once every 6 weeks. Injured for 2 out of those 6 weeks. Mental for 2 out of those 6 weeks. And then shite for the other week. That's Eric Bailly in a nutshell. With a centre-half, you don't want that sort of like range of performances. You'd take a centre-half if he was 7 out of 10 week in, week out. You'd maybe even take a 6.5 maybe out of 10 week in, week out of a centre-half. Because those 10 out of 10s, they're coming right up behind with a fucking 0 out of 10, aren't they? Or a fucking 4 out of 10, something like that. Where he's just fucking watered it into his own net. Apparently he's turned down Besiktas. He's also got suitors in Saudi Arabia because, obviously. And if he stays in and goes to Fulham, that's quite an interesting move, actually. And we're not even talking about Harry Maguire. All right, well, I'm going to mention it in passing. It may or may not have been a joke article, but I still got mad all the same because I buy it. And you're going, well, it's a joke article, Steve. And are we not allowed to sometimes just believe what we read? That Harry Maguire was sitting by the phone waiting for Real Madrid to ring? Now, someone might have wrote that in jest. Someone might have read that and gone, well, you never know. I mean, you never know, right? Harry Maguire thinks he's fucking good enough so that he's got nothing to prove. He may well actually believe he's got half a chance of fucking going to Real Madrid. Man, I don't think it's going to happen. I'm going to give it a 0 out of 10. There's no fucking way that happens. Can't you just leave? West Ham was going to make you captain. You was going to play in Europe. You was probably going to play in a system that actually fucking suits you. Why don't you go? You're going to sit here and prevent United moving forward. All right, cool. Sound? You're off the Christmas card list. Dean Henderson. A little bit like Eric Bailly. I thought he already went. Like, a few times, actually. Dean the fucking boomerang Henderson. Got to remain at United unless United sign a replacement before the close of the transfer window. What is it with Erik ten Hag and wanting a minimum of 3 goalkeepers? I don't get it. Second choice goalkeeper is rarely used, and sometimes it feels like we force ourselves into playing our second goalkeeper just to sort of prove the point of that we had a second goalkeeper, therefore we used him. And you've still got Tom Heaton here, who is a Premier League level goalkeeper, minimum. And you just sold a genuinely shit-hot goalkeeper in Pavard for £8 million. Now, we've been rejected supposedly by Suzuki because he wants to stick around and fight for his place for the World Cup or the Olympics or something. But just humour me with this one. You had a goalkeeper that had the potential to be our eventual number 1 in Pavard. You sold him for fuck all, and now you're trying to buy a replacement. Don't make me retract everything I said at the start of the window about us being professional and well run. Because that's mental. The way United have handled the goalkeeper situation defies logic. You had goalkeepers. You've got some very, very good goalkeepers, like a great group of goalkeepers at the club. You're selling them for fuck all, and now you're scratching around trying to find someone that can be the number 3. Make it make sense. As an example of what a third choice goalkeeper does, Scott Carson at Manchester City. Do you know what Scott Carson does? The only time he gets on the fucking pitch is to pick a medal up, right? He never plays. He's probably picked up like 12 medals without playing a fucking game. The third choice goalkeeper is the retirement home of goalkeepers. You do not play. Ever. Just pick someone. Get Peter Schmeichel to do it. You're not going to need to play. Like, ask anybody. Has David De Gea got a club yet? Maybe not him. Maybe not him. Just fucking get someone. Just get someone out of the fucking National League. They'll be buzzing. They'll work dead hard in training and they'll never fucking play. How hard can it be? You sold Kovar for 8 million, which is bananas, by the way, because he looks so fucking good. Like, that one performance, as you go into the contract meeting with whoever the fuck it is that we sold him to, you just play that video and have it on a loop behind you and just stare at them. Write what they've offered you on a bit of paper and then just look at that and then look at the telly and then look at them and then look at that and then look at the telly and then look at them and then look at that and then look at the telly until they put a fucking 2 in front of it. You know what I mean? Hire me. I'm pretty cheap. I'll fucking sort the negotiations out of this club in a fucking heartbeat. That's it. Fucking Dean Henderson staying. Fuck's sake. I don't know. 5 out of 10, because who the fuck knows? Stephen Howson out.